We've got some
Hey,
fresh new
I'm
young
Luis.
talent
And
doing
I'm
some
Luis.
things that
And
I
you're
know
listening
you
to the
haven't
Content
heard
is Profit
before.
podcast.
We spent the last 4 years learning the strategies and techniques from some of the top marketers in the world on how to create content that turns into profit.
If you'd like to learn more on how to turn that content into profit, go to contentisprofit.com. Oh, yeah. What are you laughing about, Fonzie?
I'm laughing because you're changing the whole thing.
I'm not changing the whole thing.
You're changing the vibes, bro.
Man.
But guys, today we have an awesome guest. And we're going to be talking about your first million and the secrets of the digital world.
Oh,
Let's
man.
go.
Is it Ty Lopez? I think it's somebody better.
I think it's way better than Ty
Let's
Lopez.
go. Fonzie, do we have a sponsor today?
Indeed, we do. And today's
Boom,
sponsors
boom.
is your own, the BIZBROS with content momentum. And you might be asking yourself, what is content momentum? Well, guess what? If you produce long-form content just like this one that you're listening to or watching, and you want to turn it into value-packed, bite-sized assets, so then you can send them like little minions into social media to get yourself some clients. We want to help you out. We want to turn that long-form content
man.
into all these valuable assets just for you. So slide in the DMs at BizBrosCo on Instagram, on Facebook. Let's talk it out.
Sounds good, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. And follow us on social media at BizBrosCo. All those episodes are coming to you every Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays in your favorite podcasting platform.
That's right. And if you find this episode impactful, please don't forget to share it and leave a 5-star review. Thank you.
What is up? Today's guest come from Colombia, but don't let his sexy accent fool you. He's an incredible direct response marketer that has learned his craft from some of the most important marketers in the world.
Oh, yeah, baby. He's definitely an expert in the info product space. Last year alone, he sold 6 figures. Can you even imagine? What would you do if you sold over $100,000 of your info product? How would that impact your life? How many people would you be able to impact?
So many.
So many.
I love it.
That is your turn.
100% true. I know. I got so excited. He loves helping people turn their passion and expertise into a profitable online course. And he's doing a great job. Sorry. And he's doing a great job with that. Yes! He actually has helped one of his clients get the 2 Comma Club Award, which, for those that don't know, is an award for selling $1 million of a product or service.
Conclusion, this guy is legit, and you should listen to every single word that he says. Please welcome successful info product entrepreneur, host of Mi Primer Millón podcast, which translates into My First Million, and Colombia's favorite marketer, Sergio Perdomo. What's up, Sergio?
Oh my God. Hey guys, how are you? I'm so excited to be here. I love your energy. It's so incredible.
I know, and Fonzie messed up a couple times in there, but that's fine. We can't let him do that. Dude, Sergio, so excited to have you here.
Yeah, it's okay, Sergio. I think by this point, everybody's already used to my brother making mistakes in the intro.
They're expecting it. And just so you know, we have some live comments coming in here. We're thankful for family, friends, and thank you for introducing you to this channel. Well, thank you so much, Zach, for tuning in live. #live. I just want to say
I want to say we're thankful for you, Sergio, today as well, for making time to be at the Content is Profit show. We really appreciate it.
No, man. I mean, it's an honor to be here, and just to talk and to help people. I'm so excited to be here. I'm excited because I'm speaking English for a long time again. Here normally I don't do that. So I'm sorry for my accent, but I'm going to try to do my best.
Yes.
I was listening to your intro and I was like, dude, damn, this is like a Miami vibe radio show. When you're driving the car and you're listening to all that stuff. I love it. I really love it.
I appreciate it. Hey, maybe we're gonna have to bring some Miami shirts.
Some Miami swag.
Yeah, some Miami
swag. Some
Content
is Profit Miami, beach.
Miami vibes.
Woo!
I love it.
Dude, sir, I just want to highlight, man, like your English is very good looking.
It's very good, man.
It's very good looking, and we're gonna have a blast. Thank you again for doing this because we know your market is mainly in the Hispanic side of the world, right? And this is a beautiful thing about digital, right? Like we can go anywhere in the world and communicate with people all around the world, just like you. You're very successful, and we're happy to share your story. So with that being said, why don't you tell us a little bit of your backstory? You know, where are you coming from? How do you get in this game of like digital marketing, digital products, courses, and why you do what you do now?
Sure. So, man, like, like my 4 minute mile, and if you guys don't know what that is, in 1965, there was a guy who ran 4 miles in 1 minute for the first time in history, and like nobody could like nobody has done that before. And then 48 days later other person do it, and since then like 400 people have done that, something like that.
Yeah.
And for me, that 4 minute mile was one day when I found this guy, Russell Brunson.
Yes.
I was in YouTube watching videos, and I saw like how I sold $3 million in 90 minutes, and I was like, oh my god, what is this? So I saw the video, and for me, it clicked when I saw Russell talking about that he made like $200,000 in his first year selling potato guns, like an online course, and I was like, oh my god, I need to do this because I am like my parents were broke. My father is an engineer, and he had to pay some suppliers, and he had to pay like $10,000 for the end of December 2018, right? So I had an agency, a digital marketing agency. I told you guys I bought Ty Lopez social media, marketing agency program, and I was doing like $2,500 per month, and in Colombia that's very good money. But and I was 21 years old. Right now I'm 23, and man, I was like, I don't have more time to make more money, and because my parents were broke, I was spending all the money that I was earning into expenses and college and all that stuff. So I couldn't make more money because I didn't have more time. But I saw this video from Russell, and I was like, man, what if I sell an online course? And in that time, right now I have an Instagram page that has 230,000 followers, and it's called Sabiduría Millonaria. In English is Millionaire Wisdom. And in that time, it had like 30,000 followers, and I was like, man, I'm going to create an online course about how to grow Instagram. And I did that. And then at the end of December 2018, I made $13,000, and I was able to pay, my parents' debt. And also I reinvest those $3,000 that I had left into the 2 Club X program with Russell. And I was very fortunate to earn 6 figures last year because of Russell and his program, and with my my Instagram course. Then I launched a social media course, like how to build your social media agency course. And then like I had the pleasure to to help his name is Carlos Davis to reach his 2 Club award. Nice. I made him his webinar presentation. Like, I'm super obsessed with webinars. I have read book 4 times. I have read this book 2 times.
Wow.
And I have like a folder in Google Drive with like at least 20 webinars, like dissected. Like, I have seen it slide by slide, and I have like notes and stuff. And I love it. And I have, since then, I like this year 2020, I have helped people to build their own online courses. And thanks God, I have now one person who has sold more than $100,000. And and the cool thing for me is that all of them are are Latinos, and for me it's super cool to show the world that the principles that are being taught in English, those principles can be applied in Spanish too. And I just love it, man.
Dude.
Absolutely. I love it, man. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah, Sergio, I just want to say thank you, man, and thank you for taking action, right? Because sometimes we get in this loop of just consuming stuff, right? And you mentioned it in your story. You were just like scrolling through, and then you saw this, and especially in this space, in the digital space, a lot of people think it's just like smoke, right? Like, hey, oh, these guys are just selling me, crap or whatever, and like, but at the end of the day, any information that we can encounter there, especially if you pay, right, it's gonna be, you can consume it and then you have to execute to get some results, man.
Yep.
And you are the living proof of like you started executing and you got amazing results. You were able to get your parents out of debt, which is incredible, right? Like a lot of the big whys of what we share is also because our family, right, is a big driver, and especially in a market that might be starting to get on this digital world. Like we were chatting a few days back and we're like, wow, there's some limitations there that we take for granted here in the States. Just like simple things like payment collection, right? There's different like hurdles and things that people have to go through. So it's incredible that you're taking these frameworks, right, and applying them into that market and having great success, and your students having great success, right? So I commend you for that, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And there were 2 points here that you were talking about that I absolutely love. First is a 4-minute mile, right? I mean, that story is incredible, and it actually teaches a lot of about human beliefs, right? Like how we think something can't be done, and when someone achieves it, we're like, okay, now let's try harder to achieve it, right? And what I love about this story is not only the fact that it's out there for, people like us to reach higher and try to get our $1 million day, for example, but it's actually you can become the 4-minute mile for everybody else that is following you, which is amazing because as they follow your path, Sergio, right, they're going to see that you had a 6-figure year, and then they're going to be able to tell themselves, wow, I can do it as well. I can do it too. And you become their 4-minute mile, which I think it's amazing, right? The other thing that you mentioned is your obsession with webinars, man. And I love it. First, I think webinars is the way to go if you want to sell online. Absolutely. So talk to Sergio if you want more information on that.
Yeah.
But the fact that you said that you're obsessed with it, that you analyze them, that you have a file with notes and all this, right? You take the time to learn it, but at the same time, you take the time to implement it, right? And I think that is the difference between you, right, who are successful, and many people that are just trying, which is a lot of people just consume, but you consume with intention, and then you go and take action, right? You figure it out, what are the principles that all these webinars have in common, right, that makes them work, and then you implement it into your own thing. And I'm curious to know, where does this obsession came from, right? Since you were little, have you been obsessed with learning things as you grew up, or was it just when you discovered the digital marketing realm, if you want to put it that way?
Sure, that dude. Like, look, for me, my father is an entrepreneur. He has a. So before he crashed, before he was broke, he had like $1 million per year business in engineering here in Colombia, and that's a big deal, because the exchange of money on all that stuff. So like my whole life, I was raised in an entrepreneur environment, and then when he had all these crises, economical crisis and stuff happening to him, then now he's making $500,000 again per year. So it's super cool how he had everything, then he lost everything, and now he is back on track to where he was.
Yep.
And that's really like incredible, and I really admire him for that. And yeah, man, like, so my first contact with the digital world was when I was working as a waiter. Because my parents were broke, and I started to. This was before my agency, so I had to make money to help pay my studies, and help just give some money to the family. And yeah, like one day I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw Tai Lopez's MMA program, and I was like, oh man, like this can actually work. Let's take a look. And I saw his webinar, and yeah, obviously, like I bought, I bought. And my first aha moment with webinars. So in 2018, I had the pleasure to I was a nobody, and I remember I was in Orlando where FHL was like Funnel Hacking Live.
Yeah.
And I messaged two guys. One, his name is Ariel Brailovsky,
Yeah.
and the other guy, his name is Scott Marshall. And both of them were winning a 10x award for $10 million.
Wow.
And I asked them if I could like meet with them. Like I really wanted to start this path. And at the beginning they didn't answer, but I continue like,
Yeah.
messaging them.
That's
And at
good.
the end, both of them told me like, yeah, okay, sure. So with Ariel, I took a picture with his award, and I interviewed him for my Instagram account. And now with Ariel, I have three pictures: 2018, 19, and 2020. And I was interviewing him this year, and he was like, "Dude, like the reason why I told you yes was because I saw like the fire in your eyes that you really wanted to accomplish things,
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome to see how you have grown in these 3 years, and that I wasn't losing my time, And with Scott, I remember like, so he invites all my family to dinner, and
Wow.
he was the first one to map out a value ladder for my ideas. And at the end, he took out his black credit card, the one you have when you have
There's no limit. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
the one.
no
That's the
limit.
one Fonzie needs for only coffee. Just
So,
coffee.
yeah, and he used that card and he paid for everything, and he said like, one day you are going to invite me.
That's
And
awesome.
and that was like game changing for me, because I forced myself to go to Funnel Hacking Live 2019, and that was at the end of 2018, everything happened with the webinars. I got my first money, and I reinvest that into traveling to the US. And dude, like my aha moment was when I saw Dean Graziosi like on stage, because man, I was like, man, he has sold $1 billion through online advertising, and I was like, dude, that's incredible. And then when Russell pitched everyone the 2 Club X program, I never felt like I felt so emotional, and I was like, man, that's how I had to make people feel so they can buy from me. And since that moment, I was super stuck with webinars. Like, I want to make people feel different, and I know, because I'm an engineer too, so I know that everything has a process, a path, and there is a way to do everything. So if I can make people believe that whatever that I'm going to sell is the key to whatever they desire, they have to buy from me. And that became my obsession, and I just love, for example, yesterday I was watching the Jason Flatlian Amazon webinar. His webinar sold $30 million like in 3 months or something
Wow.
like that. So I was watching his webinar and dissecting everything he does, and it's so incredible, man. Like the psychology that is like behind everything. Like at the beginning of the webinar, he makes you a commitment. Like, I'm going to do my best to give you value, but you really need to promise me that you're going to apply everything that you learn here.
Yes.
And promise me another thing. If like what I'm going to teach you is going to make you money, so promise me that with that money you are going to reinvest on my company so I can help you grow more.
Ooh.
And those micro commitments make people, like they put people into buying behavior. So it's so incredible, and I love it.
That's so good, dude. Thank you for sharing that story. Like, you've been in the space for a few years now. Like, I something that really, like, was awesome, and I feel like a little identify with, it was the fact that you message the MVPs, right? Like, immediately you were like, man, let me just go straight to that person, and I need to interview them. I need to like talk to them. I need to learn from them, right? I need to acquire like that notch or that connection, man. And I think that's something that not a lot of people have the guts to go do, man.
and let me like for me the biggest thing that I have done. So I have the pleasure of meeting Russell because of the 2CCX program, and it's so funny that so the first time I told with him, we were in a beach in I don't remember where, but I was so afraid of talking with him because like I was telling myself like what value can I provide to him, like
Yeah.
he's Russell Brunson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my father, he doesn't know English, and he started yelling, Russell, my son want to talk to you. Like he has this Spanish accent,
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
super Colombian accent, and so he came to me, and we ended up talking like for 1 hour.
Wow.
I met his wife, Colette, and since that, man, like we like he actually told me that like if I made my first $1 million before 27, because that was the age he had when he made his first $1 million, he's going to invite me to Boise to wrestle with him,
Wow. So
so
good.
so so man, like like contacting your MVP, like that's the game plan. I was interviewing a guy called Sebastian for my podcast last week, and he was the affiliate manager of Stu McLaren. Okay,
Mm.
and he told me the story, and he started messaging the guy until the guy finally answered him, and he told me, hey, I'm going to launch my membership product. If you want, you can work for free because I need some extra hand with my videos. And that's how it started. And because of that, he knows Tony Robbins, he knows Russell,
Wow.
he knows a lot of guys, of people. Sorry. So man, like yeah, if you want
Yes.
something, like it's how badly you want something and what you're willing to do to get it.
Dude, that,
Yeah, absolutely. I think
hashtag table face.
hashtag table face. Absolutely.
Love it.
I think so many people are afraid of reaching to,
Yeah.
those leaders, right, in the industry or their idols. And it's because they're like, but why are they going to answer to me, right? Like they don't even know, they don't even care about me. But the thing is, like, they will probably, like, a lot of them will answer you because they see a reflection of their younger selves on you, right? I'm sure Ariel Brailovsky, that you mentioned, that for context, for those that are listening right now, he is the only person in the ClickFunnels world that has won the C Award, which is $100 million, right? Which is absolutely mind blowing. And like you said, he's like, I saw this fire in your eyes. And I'm sure he saw himself reflected in you. He's like, I was like him this young, so I want to give him a helping hand. I want to help him out and, help him achieve his full potential.
Yeah.
Now, for those listening, you need to follow through. You need to follow up. Like Sergio did right here. He not only texted him once and then gave up. No, he's like, I'm going to send them messages until they answer me. And that is crucial. But not only that, but after you met them, you have to follow through with your actions, right? Because if they don't see any actions from you, they're going to think, I'm losing my time with this person. Why am I going to give more of my time to this person? And then they're going to leave, right? So, yes,
Totally.
it is possible to contact your dream mentors, right? And get in a conversation with them and get them to help you. But you need to follow through with action as well. So thank you so much for
Absolutely.
bringing that point to the table.
Yeah, man.
No,
Thank you.
for sure, man. That's awesome.
Dude, yeah, hashtag table face, 100%.
Hashtag table face.
And say that for you, you might know it as cara tabla. That's a Venezuelan expression that we translated, and it's like going after really what you want and asking for it, right? Like you obviously, and with those connections, right? And I love the dinner story, right? Like. It just allows you to be on that environment, and these are elements that we talked every single time here that we continue to see. Go ahead, sorry.
Totally. No, yeah, like that's so true. For example, so I met Penn John in the cruise, in the Tucumã Club X cruise, and then I have a very good friend. His name is Andres, and he lives in Miami. And he calls me. I went in January. I was in Miami. Hey, Sergio. So I'm going to have dinner with my wife, with Ben John and her wife, his wife. Do you want to go with us? And I was like, dude, like, man, obviously. So I ended up like right now I have Benji on WhatsApp, and sometimes I'm talking with him, and I'm not telling all of this to brag or no or anything. No, it's just that
Yeah.
for me, investing in the 2 Club X program changed my life because it opened so many doors.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
cool thing is because I'm so young, like those guys sees me as their like young brother,
Yeah.
and they want to help me out. So it's amazing. I mean,
It-
right now I just want to learn as much as I can and help people. Like
yeah.
that's all that I want.
Yeah, that's incredible. I think a lot of people when they're faced to make an investment, right? Like they might see just the value of the thing, of the information that they might be getting, but they forget completely on the community aspect of it, right? Like for us, our biggest investment ever, and that we mentioned a few times on the show, was with Offer Lab with Steve Larson last year, right? Like a year from now, we made the biggest investment that we've ever done. It was very scary. We invested $25,000 that we didn't have, like zero. We had to put the down payment on a credit card. I was living off a loan at the time, like, and it was really scary. But guess what we learned through it, yes, it was valuable, but the access to the people that are in that community has been incredible, because through that we've been able to create obviously this platform, this podcast, this show. We've been able to meet and develop relationships that at some point it can bring business, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, but at the same time we've been learning so much from them. You know, one relationship example is Marley Jacks, right? Like Marley has been an incredible mentor to us, not only like through content but also through the interviews that we've done. I think she's come twice, like same Catherine. I mean, so many people that
Yeah.
the conversation started because we're in that community, right? So I think that community aspect is something really important to consider when you're investing in a program that you might be considering, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I mean, you have the Instagram community and all that, right? Like, again, I think communities itself are extremely helpful for both personal growth, business growth, for them to help each other out, right? I mean, that's why Facebook groups in part are so popular right now, is because it allows people to connect with people. They allow people to connect with the leader, and I'm doing air quotes right here, right? The leader of the group. And so everybody is connected, and there's power in these communities. And so I'm curious, what is your take? Because you've made reference to the 2CCX crews, right? And these relationships. I'm curious to know, what is your take on these communities when it comes to info products, right? So let's say that is your stronghold, actually. So what is your take on info products and building these communities?
Sure, man. Like I look like the key for like the key is to build a community, right? And you guys know that you guys help people with that, and that's like so important because like if you ask me what are the 2 most important things that I learned from Russell Brunson, the first one is how to craft your webinar presentation, like that's key, and the second one is how to build a tribe, so you can especially how you can earn those 1,000 Raby funds. That's the key. If you can get 1,000 Raby funds, that's the key for all. And yeah, like obviously, with the cool thing with Russell is that he teaches you. And I'm sorry for preaching and talking about so much about Russell, but I love him with all my heart.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, that's true. Like I want to be like him, like that. Like he's my role model, and he teaches you the strategy and then all the tactics, right? And guys, if you're listening to this and you have an info product, let me tell you these 2 things. The first thing is, okay, we need to build a confidence. We need to build we need to warm people up,
Yeah.
okay? And for that, guys, obviously you have all the organic content. And if you analyze, look, I love analyzing patterns, so I have seen, like, I also have another, I love watching Instagram profiles because I want to see the patterns that those people are using.
Yeah.
So if you see Dan Henry, if you see Penn John, if you see Russell Brunson, their Instagram is like a funnel for them, because they build confidence, and yeah, they build confidence in those profiles. Like I remember I was in Pension one-on-one program. What's his name? I don't remember the name, but he always says like, okay, the only three indicators that matters in your business are how many new followers you get every month, how many new leads you get every month, and how many sales you get every month. Okay, so let's talk practical advice. Dude, like make some ads for Facebook or YouTube, 1-2 minutes, actually answering objections. Like, for example, in my case, one common objection is, Sergio, but I don't know what should my online course topic be about. So I can make a video talking about that objection. And at the end, I tell them, if you want more value, follow me on Instagram. Okay. So, like, direct all that traffic to your Instagram, because in your Instagram, you're going to have more videos, you're going to have stories, you're going to have a lot of content that is going to warm up people. And then create a retargeting audience, like people who follows me on Instagram, on Facebook, people who has interact with my videos, people who has seen 75% of my videos, and send those people to your webinar. And that's like the second part, the webinar. It doesn't matter if it's long or if it's short, because I imagine if you're watching this episode right now, you're a marketer, so you know that there is a new tendency of making short webinars, 20-25 webinars, and book a call. So it doesn't matter, it's the same strategy. The key part here is that you need people to stay on the webinar.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why the first 2-3 minutes, you have to sell people on why they should stay. If you stay until the end, you're going to learn blah blah blah. If you stay until the end, I'm going to give you this. This is Joanna. Joanna has made $100,000 with my strategy, and she was sitting like you 6 months ago, like selling on how to, like, why you have to stay in the webinar. Okay.
Yeah.
And after you do that, the key on a webinar is you have to make people feel like you. Let me. I have this here, and I really want to tell you this, guys. So you really need to make people believe that the method you are teaching actually works. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, is easy to implement, and they can do it. And number three, they need to feel the emotion of starting right now. So imagine, and I'm a big superhero fan. When I saw when I saw the trailer when I saw the news that the Flash, the movie, because my favorite superhero is Flash. Actually, we have a discussion with Russell on why Batman was worse than Flash, because for me it doesn't make sense to prefer Batman, but I give that one to him because it's Russell Brunson. But I when I saw the news, I was like, oh my god, and I stopped what I was doing and I started to search for more info about the Flash and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how to make people feel. It's not about what you teach, it's about how you make people feel and how you inspire them to make the thing that you're teaching, right? And so I don't want to talk a lot, but like, guys, it doesn't matter if your webinar have 3 secrets, 5 secrets, 100,000 secrets. You really need to make people believe that this is easy, this work, and that they can start right now.
Yeah.
If you can make people believe that, you are going to change their emotional state and they are going to buy.
You just gave us like a like step-by-step strategy right here, which is amazing. Thank you. And I want to like distill it a little bit from my notes.
Before you distill it, First of all, Sergio, don't apologize for talking, man.
Yeah,
Because that's why you're here.
continue,
We brought you here so you can share all the golden nuggets, or
golden
how we call them,
boulders.
golden boulders,
Let's go.
which you have been doing. So thank you so much again. We really appreciate it. And now,
Yeah,
my brother,
I mean,
go ahead.
Just like starting from your ads solving objections, right? Like a lot of people are like, whoa, what content do I create? Like either organic or paid. Like for us, like we believe that obviously consistency is key, right?
Can I tell you something super quick?
Of course.
Look,
No. No. I'm sorry. Of course.
When making your ads, the first word you need to put in the copy is, for example, fitness. Are you looking attention fitness people, attention info product people? Like you really need to call out the people you want to see the ad, because I have seen some ads, and look, this is something that I have seen, but I have learned. Like I have bought courses from Dan Henry, Russell, like all the big names, and there are some people that they start their ad saying like, I feel so bad because yesterday I was alone. Like, dude, like, who you want to attract? That is not going to attract the right people.
Absolutely.
So in my case, a pretty awesome ad will be, do you want to know why? I don't know. Do you want to know why playing soccer is similar to selling an online course? Watch this video below. And that hook people to watch the video.
Yeah.
In the video, I provide value, and I earn the right to tell the story in the video.
Yeah.
And at the end, I make people go to my Instagram. But everything is about curiosity, okay? And just remember that nugget, like that golden nugget. If you come, you need to really dig in your ads, and your copy is key.
Yeah.
The copy is key.
Absolutely. I mean, those small details, right? Like people, one of the things that we struggled with at the very beginning was, how do we name the podcast, right? Like and if you will see like the list of names that we had is like not related at all with content what we're talking about, right? And I think it's that idea that we need to like go broad to make sure that we attract as many people as possible, right? And there's like entrepreneurship, and yes, we do talk about entrepreneurship. Yes, we do talk about mindset, but our audience, like our service is content, right? It's high volume content repurposing.
Yep.
So our show is gonna be called Content is Profit, because we believe that content is profit, right? So people that see that name and it resonates, they're gonna tune in. So let the message be, your filter, right?
Yep.
If we're talking about entrepreneurship and then we're selling something else, we might be getting a wide audience, but at the same time, it's not the specific audience that we're looking for. So that was something obviously that we learned, with Steve and reiterations. And I remember like the first time that we showed him the day and the domain, right, contentsprofit.com, he flipped out. He was like, "Oh my God, that's so good," right?
Yeah.
And the reaction for other people is like, I don't know. Well, my audience, right? Steve is my audience, for example, right? And he's like, "This is great," and that's a reaction that we want, and that goes hand in hand with what you just explained with the ads, right? Call out your audience, right? Like, don't be scared to call out your audience, because like, I know it's fine. It's a path that you're in the right direction. You're going to find the right people, right? So from there, obviously send them to your Instagram, right? Then you get a retargeting, audience from organic. And here you highlight like the importance of organic content. We need to be consistent. We need to be frequent out there creating value, right? Like it has to happen, right? That's how people are consuming content. That's why content is profit. And you said it, like you use Instagram, right? For us, it's a little bit of everything, right? And I love it because there's no perfect formula except consistency and frequency. Right, and after that, obviously webinars. So we're definitely gonna be calling you whenever we're drafting this webinar. We're like, Sergio, we need your help, my man. Come here, because
I love it. Actually, like my Sundays are for webinars. Like I love watching webinars on Sundays instead of movies or whatever, because it just relaxes me. Like because I really learn a lot of closes. Like for example, I love one close that Steve always use. Is his close with his sister. So he tells people that his sister didn't have money to invest in the Tucumán Club X program, and so he told her like, okay, but what if you invest in the program first? You need to make you like you really need to push yourself to earn money for and paying rent.
Yeah.
And at the end, she did it, and she now, I don't know, like from the last time I heard, she has a super cool agency. So man, yeah, I just love like listening to
I love
closes.
it.
Like for example, Carlos Davis, the guy I helped with the Two Comma Club award, he has an online event last week, and I told him one close that is the I told you guys this close, the two most expensive, the two most the two biggest expenses.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
Myron Golden's close,
Myron
right?
Golden.
Oh, I love it.
And he sold almost $100,000 in Latin America, and we're talking people who has 5 times less money than people in the US. And
Yeah.
he almost 100,000. So
Wow.
so I love watching closes, and I actually bought this book, sorry, The Secret of Closing the Sale.
Oh,
And
nice.
I'm waiting to start reading that one because I want to learn more closes.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that it was from Zig Ziglar, you know. He is definitely considered one of the, I'm going to say, McDaddies of sales. One of the McDaddies of salesmanship, you know.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. I'm going to have to go get that one.
Yeah, I love, dude, your obsession with
Yeah,
this, right?
I
Like,
love it.
and it doesn't come across as in like I'm doing it because of the money. It is legit, like a true obsession. And I think, like, to our point, like, how do we, the way that we handle content, the way that we repurpose, is it right? On the
Yeah.
way driving here today, I was thinking that it's like, man, like, you know, a few years back, our thing was soccer, right? And playing soccer was like our obsession, right? Like, obviously we still like it, right? We're still fans, like we still watch soccer, we still play. But right now, we're so fortunate because we get to do what we love to do, man. And for us, is content and how we repurpose this and where we put it and just try things out and how can we implement it in paid strategies and organic strategies. And for you is webinars. And I think that is a key element, ingredient on how you can separate yourself from the rest. You know, whatever you do,
Yep.
find that obsession. And the fact that on Sundays, like, you watch a webinar, like, for other people that might be like, dude, Sergio is insane, right? For us, like, we have this folder of like content from other people. So yeah, whenever I'm consuming content, I'm consuming with that in mind. It's like, how can I see, you know, these trends, these different things that amazing people that provide amazing value are doing, and then how can we implement it, right? So I think that element separates you from the rest and your craft, and it's only gonna get better and better and better because you're just like literally working on your craft every single day, right? Do you ever get tired of it? No. His answer was no. He was like, nope, moving the head back and forth. Yeah, for those listening.
Never. Man, I love it. I love it. This is the best thing. Like, I'm so obsessed with. I'm just love it. It's my passion, you know.
I'm curious, you know, because looking back into my own personal story, right? I got indoctrinated into this ClickFunnels world through Russell's book, but it was .com Secrets, right? I was looking online how to make money online, like many people out there, right? And I found this Russell Brunson ad. Hey, I just released this book, .com Secrets. So I bought it. At that time, we were coaching soccer with little kids, and I was carrying the book with me, and I was about to get lunch in front of a Panda Express, and I opened the book in the car. I started reading it, and my eyes went like this. Bam!
Just
They were
exploded.
huge. I was like, this is incredible. But I think the reason that it caught my attention and my love, if you want to put it that way, for, you know, and entrepreneurship and direct response marketing and building a business was the fact that, like you said, he makes it so easy to believe that you can do it, right? That you actually start believing all the opportunities that are presented in there. Do you think that's when your obsession came? Do you think it's when, you know, you realize, wow, there's so much opportunity here that I can do something great? Do you think that's when the obsession for all this came up?
Yeah, and like because like my initial dream was to be like I really want to work like in a, you know, a big, like to be a big corporate guy. Just, you know, I'm an engineer and all that stuff. But when I saw this opportunity, and I remember, I always remember Russell telling the story about the level 10 opportunities that sometimes you are like, like you're in a number 2 opportunity versus a number 10 opportunity. So yeah, man, that's when everything click. Like,
That's awesome.
damn, you know.
Yeah, that's amazing.
love it.
Dude, thank you so much, Sergio. I've been loving this conversation.
Yeah, man. Thank you. So last question. What is your number one advice, an action point that somebody can do today?
That was so, what's up?
I know, man.
I know, but we've been loving the conversations there here, but unfortunately we're running out of time here, and I think we do need to start going into those last
Don't
questions.
you see the secret chat that we have going with him?
No, but
Okay, here we go. Just say, it's fine. So Fonzie was the only one left out of this conversation, Sergio. Just say.
I was trying to play it out cool, and you ruined it. I was like, man, let's transition. Let's make the transition smoothly. And you're like, last question.
Get to the point, man. Get to the point, Fonzie.
Man, I appreciate it.
Of course, brother.
For those listening, hey, Sergio is practicing what he preaches, and he has a few sales calls he needs to get onto, right? So we're like, hey, baby, let's go. Let's close it. Let's wrap this up so you can go and close those sales, Sergio.
I say, bring us home, man. Like, what is your number one action point for people trying to start in this space, right?
Man, like being honest with you, find a mentor and pay whatever you need to pay them so you can be successful. Like, stop waiting. Man, like, look. I'm going to do the two biggest expensive clothes to everyone. I love it. It's so incredible, guys.
Yes.
Look, right now, let's say you are making you're making $50,000 per year. Okay, so because of taxes, you're paying 25,000, in average. So you only are left with 25,000. Okay, so what if you could make $1 million? Okay, so you are going to pay $500,000, but you are going to have to, you are going to remain with $500,000, right? So what's the difference? Like, if you're making $1 million, you're going to be with 500,000, and if you're making $50,000, you're going to be with $25,000. So you are right now paying for $475,000 per year to the life, because of not knowing how to make $1 million. That's like the opportunity cost is incredible.
Yeah.
So I don't mind paying someone $474,000 if they can teach me how to make 1 million.
Yep.
Yep.
So, like, dude, like, stop. Like,
Yeah.
Steve Larson is an awesome coach. Russell Brunson is an awesome coach. Dan Henry, like, you guys are incredible, coaches, and your agency is amazing. Like, stop doing the things by yourself, man. Like, stop. Like,
Yeah.
and just
Thank you, Sergio.
just pay.
I love that close. And when I first heard it, it actually made me think, would I even pay $1 million to learn how to make $1 million? And the answer is yes, I would. Because if I learn how to make $1 million once, I can do it twice and again and again and again, right? Yeah. So it is extremely important what you're saying, man. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Dude, thank you. So how can people find you? How can they connect with you?
Sure, man. Like, for if you guys need help or whatever, just hit me on Instagram. Is how you say arroba in English?
Just at.
Thank you, at Sergio E Perdomo. And also, if you guys speak Spanish, I have my podcast that is called Mi Primer Millón, My First Million, Secretos del Mundo Digital, Secrets of the Digital World, where I'm trying to share my journey with people. I started my podcast when I didn't have anything, when I have nothing, and I'm telling you guys everything. Even when I asked a girl to be my girlfriend, and she said no. I'm telling people everything. So if you really want to, build this journey, to build this, to walk this path with me, I would love to help in anywhere. It doesn't matter if it's in Spanish, English, whatever. Actually, in my podcast, I have some interview. I have interviewed Steve. I have interviewed Steven. I have I interview Marley, I interview Nicolas Baderle, I interview Alison Primes. I mean, I interview a lot of Two Comma Club people, and if you want to search for those interviews, they are in English, so you can
Awesome.
hear that. That will be incredible.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. We're going to leave all the links right in the description. So all you got to do is scroll down and click there to connect with Sergio. We're going to leave the Instagram link, the podcast link. And dude, man, it has been incredible. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now we're going to let you go and fly so you can close those amazing sales calls.
Let's go.
And with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning into the Content's Profit podcast. Go ahead and subscribe. Smash that subscribe button and follow us on social media at BIZBROS Co.
That is right. And if you find this episode impactful, which I am sure you did, and thank you, Sergio, for making this episode in English, please don't forget to share it and leave a 5-star review. Thank you.